game as the Tigers take the lead with 1:52 left to go. At the very least for the Mounties, they're going to have some time to come up with an offensive drive for themselves, but as of right now, all the momentum in the world in the favor of RCC. They'll take a timeout here, will the Tigers. That's their second charged one of this second half. And Brian, the Mounties blew this one. It's not over yet, but that's not RCC coming back. That's the Mounties giving up the lead, coughing up the lead.
Either way you draw it up, RCC is up 28-24 with under 2 minutes left to play here with a first lead of the game. No matter if you've been trailing for most of the game, the lead that you want is when that clock hits zeros, and they're very close to that. Unfortunately for the Mounties, a heck of a defensive performance here by the Mount Sac unit, and Allo unfortunately throwing 3 INTs that have been very costly, and we'll see if they can pull one out here.
You can't turn over the ball 4 times against a team of the caliber of RCC and expect to win, especially on the road. And if the Mounties can't come on back in this last minute and 52 seconds, their season will be essentially over. Sure, they'll get to a bowl game, but compared to the playoffs, that means nothing. RCC going to go for 2 here. Make this a 6-point lead for whatever reason. And now they'll burn their third charge timeout of the night. I guess the RCC offense didn't line up right.
Very sloppy out of the timeout there.
Now both teams with 0 timeouts, so the only way you can stop the clock is with a spike, an incompletion, or hopping on out of bounds.
And it looked like that was Anthony Zamora, the sophomore who's jogging into the huddle right now and really looking confused with his helmet off, running over to the sideline to the coaching staff, and obviously he was probably supposed to be out on that last play call, but causing his team a timeout. And no less, they'll still have a shot at the end zone for a 2-point conversion. Like you said, a 2-point conversion right now, it's still a 4-point lead.
If you're Mount Sac and you tie up the game, you need an extra point. And so might as well, if you get this 2 points here, if you're RCC, put pressure on Alberto Villarreal if he does have a chance to add a PAT. This 2-point conversion might not mean anything, and it won't if the Mounties can't score another touchdown. 4 wide set for RCC, 3 aligned to the near side of the field. Snap is back. King going to look to run, gets up the middle, but he's taken down back around the 9-yard line, and the 2-point conversion is no good. That doesn't really do anything. But the only thing that matters is that RCC, they have their first lead of the game, and it comes with 1:52 left to go in regulation, 28-24. If it is going to be win number 100 for Coach Jastrab, it's going to have to be quite the comeback.
Yeah, and I would like to see some hurry-up offense here. Of course, it's going to be some hurry up, if you will, with under 2 minutes left to go here. And I just want to see how Allo and his teammates can huddle up and really get something going here. That's plenty of time, 1:52 to march down the field.
It reminds me of the Long Beach game.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to brush it off your shoulders right now. It's a completely different game here. Opportunity to win late in the fourth quarter. That's what you want. That's what the Mounties have. Let's see if they can execute it here with 1:52 left.
The unfortunate thing for the Mounties about giving up that touchdown compared to a field goal is now they have to score a touchdown if they want to take the lead here very late.
They absolutely have the capability to do so. It's just the execution and the attitude that the Mounties carry the rest of the way. Of course, mentally, you have to stay in check.
Camacho will boot it deep. Short of the goal line, it's Solomon from his 2. Across the 10, 15, and somersaults to the 20-yard line. So the Mounties are going to have to drive 80 yards in 1:47 if they want to keep their postseason hopes alive.
We might see something brilliant right now, Chris. We have
to see something brilliant right now if the Mounties want to win this game.
So no timeouts with 1:47. I say that's very doable, especially with his receiving core that he has and the running back that's set aside him as well in Tolbert.
1st and 10. Here we go. 4 wide set, the lone back, Tolbert. No timeouts for either team. Allo drops back to pass, fires, and it's nearly picked off by RCC, but Gilchrist will catch it, and that's a pickup of 8 to the 28-yard line. Clock will keep on running. 1:30 left to go. 2nd and short for the Mounties. The snap is back. Allo, quick throw, too high for Macon. He somehow comes up with it, and he picks up a Mount Sac first down to the 31, pickup of 3. Clock will stop at 1:24 left to go as they move the chains.
Using his big framed wideouts, Gilchrist and Macon getting in on this party.
You got to think at some point the Mounties are going to have to take a couple of shots deep. 1st and 10. Allo, another short pass, and this time it's incomplete. To the far side of the field, he was going for Gilchrist. It would have been a pickup of 6. Instead, it's incomplete, and now 2nd and 10. This is the season for the Mounties. Talked about it in the open. Do or die. Regardless of the outcome, the defense had a fantastic performance. The offense, though, they've turned over the football 4 times on the 2nd and 10. Allo going to pump fake, hits Simpson, far side of the field, and Simpson unable to get out of bounds after a pickup of 4. The clock will keep on running under a minute left to go. 3rd and 7. Under 55 seconds left. 4 wide set. The snap is back. Flag flies in. RCC might have been offsides over the middle, and it's intercepted by Treshawn Broughton. The game will be over, dependent upon the flag that's down on the near side of the field. If it is on the Mounties, they will have lost the game, and Justin Allo will have thrown his 4th pick of the day and the 3rd to the Oregon State commit, Treshawn Broughton. Mounties defense will stay out on the field here momentarily to await the call. This one probably over. Illegal procedure on Mount Sac. Penalties decline, and RCC is going to win this football game by a final score of 28-24. The Mounties blew it. The winning streak will go to 28 here for the Tigers at home at Wheelock Stadium. And tonight will not be the night for Coach Jastrab to get his 100th win. The offense turned over the football 5 times. You just can't do that against a team like RCC. And for Mount Sac, barring a miracle, barring another upset of Long Beach or Riverside, this one will be over. The season will be over.
Absolutely, the turnovers killed them. I mean, you're going into a 4th quarter of 24-16, and yeah, that's not that big of a lead, but no doubt a lead into the last quarter of the game. And with so many implications with the outcome of this game, Mount Sac will more than likely be done after this loss, but there's still games to be played here for the Mounties in this 2014
Well, the only
season.
scenario Mount Sac has of getting into the postseason is if
Long Beach.
Obviously they win out, the Mounties, and they probably will against LA Harbor and El Camino. But you're asking Long Beach to lose 2 more games or Riverside to lose 2 more games. Long Beach is going to be up against Riverside
next week
and Citrus and El Camino to close the year. And if they find a way to lose 2 of those 3 on the kneel down, it looks like the Mounties might have recovered a fumble. Now pushing and shoving breaks out, and Coach Jastrab comes onto the field to restrain his guys. You never want to see this at the end of the game. It happened last time Riverside was here against Fullerton College.
And a big scrum here. We're trying to see if is there any outcome of the ball.
There's not. The clock will run to 16 seconds left, and the Mounties can't believe it. C.D. Tamaavena going to have to be restrained, and there is still a flag down on the field. The game cannot end on a penalty. Aaron Simpson.
The referee really getting at Kraft. They're right here at the near sideline, and he is up and in the face of the head coach of the Tigers. Really getting his point across.
This is a tough loss for Mount SAC.
He was all the way out at in the middle of the field, Coach Kraft, as they're trying to finish off this game with 16 seconds left. Coach Jabs now out onto the field.
Well, they're going to call this game right now. They're just going to let these 16 seconds run off. This one's going to be over. And a scrum between two rivals, two former coaches, will meet up at midfield to talk to each other. They'll shake each other's hands. Usually you have the teams line up for a handshake at midfield, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either.
The clock will run down. And the RCC Tigers will improve to 6-1 on the season and 3-0 in conference play. The Mounties will fall to 6-2 and 2-2 in conference play. That'll be it. RCC wins. The final score tonight, 28-24. A game in which Mount SAC led by 11 points heading into the fourth quarter, but they could not hold on. The home team comes up victorious tonight, and they sing Sweet Caroline here at the Jungle. And that'll probably do it on the season for the Mounties. And it's just disappointing because this team, this Mount SAC team, no, it's not the 2009 national champion team. No, it's not the 2010 national championship team, but it's right up there in their caliber. And unfortunately for them, they have now dropped two conference contests to Long Beach and Riverside, the two teams ahead of them in the standings. And the only possible way the Mounties can make the postseason at this point is if somehow, some way, Riverside or Long Beach loses to either Citrus, Chaffee, or El Camino. And I just don't see that happening. A disappointing end to the night, and perhaps, Brian, a disappointing end to the regular season for the Mount San Antonio College Mounties.
The last score for Mount SAC came into the third quarter after Justin Allo 1-yard touchdown run, making it 24-13. After that was all Riverside, and RCC really finishing off the job here after the Mount SAC touchdown run by Justin Allo. Camacho with a 41-yard field goal, making it 24-16. And then Foster with a 5-yard touchdown run, making it 24-22. And then Foster again, a 19-yard touchdown run at the minute 52 mark of the fourth quarter, putting RCC up 28-24. And a disappointment is probably the nicest word.
An understatement. That's what it is.
Right now that we can use to feel for the Mount San Antonio College Mounties is such a great team here, led by such a great coach and a great coaching staff. And unfortunately for them, this one probably hurts worse than the Long Beach City game. And it's unfortunate for us to watch it unfold here in the second half, where such a dominating performance by the Mount San Antonio defense, with Allo, throwing, I believe, 5 INTs.
Four picks.
4 INTs.
4 picks. All 3 of the 4 to Sean Broughton, the Oregon State commit for RCC.
And you can't throw those 4 INTs and be as close as you were, no less winning the game.
That's the incredible thing. Mount SAC turned the ball over 5 times and still only lost by 4, but now you're just talking about moral victories. And for Amaris Tolbert, 24 carries, 112 yards, and he did have a costly fumble at the 1-yard line of RCC. Did not get into the end zone. Justin Allo did on a touchdown rush for himself. Justin Allo's passing totals 22-39 with 4 INTs, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times
and his long completion pass to Christopher Gilchrist in that first half for 47 yards. Receiving totals, Gilchrist